The thing I wanted to show you today was Secrets of the Moon. Elune-themed weapons and new moon texture found in Dragonflight. This is like very fucking interesting. A handful of new models and textures discovered on the Dragonflight Alpha, I'm putting the red bot up for this, raise more questions than answers, as we've discovered several weapons named for Yesera and Elune, along with a couple of familiar NPCs, and some brand new textures for the moon hanging over Azeroth's skies. Elune N-Boss confirmed. Elune, the goddess of the moon. Keyboard turn, friend of the channel. Sub to my Twitch stream. Awesome tweeter, you should go and follow her. First showcased these new moons on Twitter, and we verified that the textures are used for the in-game skybox, though it's unclear if they're meant to be permanent replacements or used for some special event or cinematic. That seems the most likely explanation for me, probably. Meanwhile, Elune's Wrath, a one-handed sword, and Elune's Fury, a one-handed sword, also happen to appear following a long story arc about the moon goddess, and the fact that these are cosmetic items rather than full-powered weapons would suggest that there's some sort of important quest, event, or achievement rewards rather than stylistically named dungeon or raid loot. So here are the new textures, they look great. Coincidentally, Tyrande will be making an appearance in 10.0. Here she is. Location of this PC is unknown, but here she is in the 10.0 files. And given her obvious connection to Elune, this all could be part of a new storyline somewhere involving Azeroth's foremost priestess of the moon. During the events of Shadowlands, Tyrande took on the mantle of the Night Warrior. Elune's warrior aspect, mentioned earlier, fueled by hatred and vengeance in her hunt for Sylvanas, concerned by the power would eventually consume her, the way it had all previous champions of the moon goddess, Chandra's Feathermoon, the Night Fae Covenant, and the Winter Queen eventually intervened to save Tyrande from its curse. We all remember that, right? Now she's got the big tier. Where's she going to plant it? Where's it going to go? Where's the new Night Elf home going to be? Why don't you watch my video? Find out. Turn off your ad blocker when you do. The story leaves off from there, but sticking around after the cinematic offers further dialogue revealing that Ysera may return to Azeroth if Elune wills it. We all remember that from my video that you just went off to watch. Though there's mention of a heavy price. Yesera advises bringing the seed to her daughter Merithra, now de facto leader of the Green Dragonflight back on Azeroth, who we already know will be involved in the events of Dragonflight. Therefore, the hint of the sisters' tier offering some kind of a new beginning could very well be literal, and the involvement of Merithra makes it sound like the seed could be the avenue for Yesera to come back to our world. Oh god, I hope not. Can you imagine if the seed wasn't actually to grow the Night Elves a new home, and in fact it was just fucking Ysera coming back? Can you fucking imagine? We have this big storyline in the Onaran Plains with the Green Dragonflight, and we're like, by the way, we've got this seed, which we've been told we should plant somewhere. What do you reckon? And they're like, okay, and we fight back like loads of centaurs or whatever to get to the most holy, like, magical place on the Onaran Plains, and we plant the seed, and it's like... Wait a minute. We go to the Dragon Isles, and we fight through the Onaran Plains. We befriend the Green Dragonflight. Merithra comes to our aid. We help them out. We're like, Merithra, we've got this seed. It was given to us by the Winter Queen. We've been told to plant it somewhere very safe. For a very important reason. And Merithra's like, okay, well, I'd love to help you out, champion, but the thing is, we're having problems with the centaurs and stuff. And, like, you know, we need you to sort that out before we do anything else, right? And we're like, okay, so we go off and we battle the centaurs, and we create peace in the Onaran Plains. And then Merithra says, this is where you gotta plant the seed, fam. This is where you gotta put it. The most sacred grove on the Onaran Plains, blessed by the wild god herself. And it's this beautiful space in a grove with, like, leaves falling down. Like a place kind of, like, almost designed for it, almost. You know? And they're like, we always intended for there to be a world tree here. And we put it in, and it cuts to a cinematic. It cuts to like a pre-rendered cinematic. And we put it in the ground. And we put the earth over it like that. And Elune's light appears in the sky and shines down on the seed. And it starts to sprout. And it starts to grow. And everyone's looking at it like this. And like the ghosts of all the souls of the night elves that died in Teldrassil are there because we're growing their new home. And it's Ysera. And she's like, oh, thanks, guys. I'm alive again. Cheers. And everyone's like, oh. And Ysera's like, aren't you happy to see me? And they're all like, I mean, we are. We're not unhappy to see you. We were just kind of hoping, really, that it'd be a new house for us, a new home. And she's like, oh, I guess we probably should have made it more clear what the seed was actually for, I guess, and we gave it to you. I guess. Shit. Should have made it more clear. I can see why you'd be disappointed, actually, now you mention it. Yeah, it was kind of implied that it would be a new home for the Night Elves. You know what? Hands up. I can see why you'd think that now. With the whole conversation about, it was definitely implied. Do you know what? I can see why you would think that. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, it was just me. It was just me, Ysera, coming back to work. That's all. Anyway, thanks, though. See you later. Still a better ending than the jailer. Yeah. Ysera's great, right? But, you know, there's only so many times I can... Like, I feel like her resurrection was in Shadowlands. You know? Her moment of triumph of like, yay, Ysera's not dead anymore. We had that, right? In Shadowlands. That cinematic where she comes back to life, or, you know, where she appears in the Shadowlands is awesome. A really great cinematic. And, like, the whole procession leading up to it as well was amazing. Like, really, really great. There's no, like, if they brought her back to life in Azeroth, it would be like, oh, okay, sure. Because they've already had the big, like, Ysera return moment, right? Like, her coming back to Azeroth would just be like, yeah, fine, whatever. Cool. Nice one. But it'd be a bit... Wouldn't be... It's not going to be a great big moment, right? Right, anyway. As though there may be a choice between the souls of all those Night Elves or the soul of Ysera. Okay. Wait, no, I cannot see that. Wait. This article is implying that when they're saying how, when Ysera's talking about how, hey, it is possible I could come back to Azeroth, but it would take a big sacrifice. All those Night Elf souls in the seed gonna have to die. Can you fucking imagine? That would suck so hard. That would suck so hard. Hey, people really wanted Ysera back, so sorry, souls. Sorry, Night Elf souls. With the story of Dragonflight referred to as a new age of dragons, it seems almost unbelievable that we won't explore this storyline further. If that's not enough evidence, a handful of other data-mined assets on the Alpha client also lend support to the idea that we'll see the fallen aspect in Dragonflight. Okay, so these are her swords, right? Okay. Oh, knife Ysera and offhand Ysera. Okay, make it sound like the weapons are intended to be used by the green aspect rather than merely named for her. Both items containing Ysera's name suggest that the Dreamer will be wielding the sleek, curved knight and the caster offhand in her humanoid form at some point in Dragonflight. There's even a new Ysera NPC found within the game files. The location of this NPC is unknown. Although it could be used for anything, and we haven't found her model yet. There's also a Dark Moon card named for the Dreamer. Dark Moon deck, Ysera. Your healing spells have a chance to kill all the Night Elf souls in the seed, healing you for 10. The amount of Night Elf souls destroyed depends on the toppermost card in the deck. And although that's obviously a player item, these references all point towards her having a role in the new age of dragons. Though whatever will be in the form of an actual rebirth, a spirit, a flashback, or in the weapons, are merely two mementos left behind from Erythra to reclaim, seems to be seen. I think this has got to be for a cinematic. I think this has got to be for an in-game cutscene, which are pretty much almost indistinguishable from the cinematics right now. Tally, look at the offhand. It's a wild seed in the center of it. Holy shit, yes it is. Yeah, I mean, that is a very good point. There is indeed a Ardenweald wild seed. Oh shit, do you think the seed is just going to turn into this offhand? Wait. Hang on. All the Night Elf souls are going to die. Ysera's going to appear, be like, whoa, sorry all those Night Elf souls had to die, but I did say there'd be a big sacrifice. I could do with some weapons. Hey, champion, it's time for you to plant the seed. Okay, plant the seed. And Elune shines on the seed, and it starts to sprout. And then it's like... turns into this offhand, and Ysera picks it up, and she's like, awesome, yeah, cool. Nice one. Cheers. Thanks, champion. Just saying, that's what this data suggests. That's all I'm saying. And then she disenchants it. She's like, oh, shit, it's got no haste. She's like, I prefer using a staff if I'm completely honest. But yeah, there is a wild seed in the center of it. So yeah, it certainly all seems to be linked, doesn't it? Certainly all seems to be linked. Well, I think it's probably going to be for an in-game cutscene. Can't disenchant a legendary? Well, there's your proof. It's not even a fucking legendary. I think it's going to be for an in-game cutscene. And I mean, look, the seed has got to be. It's got to be for the fucking new home of the Night Elves, right? It can't be any of this bullshit. It can't be for Yesera coming back. The seed cannot please God. It can't be for Yesera coming back. That is not what the seed is for, surely. Please no. It's like, guys, please tell me, put me at ease here. The seed, it's for a new home for the Night Elves, right? It's gotta be. I can't be doing with this. I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, it's gotta be for a tree, for sure. And Ysera will be there, and we'll all have to act really excited that she's been reborn in Azeroth, even though we've been hanging out with her all Shadowlands. It's like, I have returned! It's like, Ysera, I know. We were hanging out with you like all Shadowlands. I'm glad you're back. I love your new weapons. They're very nice. It's a shame you had to kill all of the thousands of Teldrassil Night Elf souls to get them. No, the Night Elves are definitely getting a new home. Like, that's definitely what's happening. This ain't some Gnome Regan situation, right? This is... They're definitely getting it. Just like the Forsaken got a new home. The Forsaken got a new home, the Night Elves are going to get a new home. The Night Elf, like, a lot of Night Elf play... Okay, so, again, 99% of people that play this game and have a favourite race in the game are awesome, and they pitch it exactly right. But 1%, less, 0.1% of people that play this game and have a favourite race in the game take it far too fucking seriously. And the Night Elf, certain parts of the Night Elf community got really pissed off when the Forsaken got Lordaeron back at the end of Shadowlands. And they were like, well, that's just... typical. Of course the Forsaken get their home back. What about the Night Elves? No, Blizzard purposely want to come and kick us all in the faces because they hate Night Elves so much. And it's clearly because they're making a much bigger deal of the Night Elves getting a home back. Like, it's going to be a main plot point rather than some patch thing. And it's going to be done on a much bigger scale, the Night Elves getting their home back, than the Forsaken getting Lordaeron back, for sure. For sure. I don't know where I want it to be. I feel it's quite likely it'll be in the Dragon Isles. To be honest, poor Night Elves. I mean, if you say so. Look, Night Elves are one of my favourite... Pardon me. That makes it sound sarcastic, but I don't mean it to be sarcastic. Night Elves are legit one of my favourite races in the game. Like, legit. And one of the reasons they're one of my favourite races in the game is because they have a lot of story centered around them, you know? And because they're interesting, because a lot of shit has happened to them. I don't know. The thing I don't understand is when you treat an in-game race like a football team, right? So if they don't win, or if they get cheated by the ref or something, you treat it as like an indignancy, and you treat it as though like Blizz have somehow traumatized you for the way they've treated your in-game race, or they hate you. I legit see people saying stuff like, the subs of Night Elf players aren't worth as much to Blizzard as the subs of other players, which is deranged. Like, that's insane. Like, the subs of Night Elf players aren't worth as much to Blizz as other players, which is why they've given Night Elves, like, story focus for 3 expansions in a row. Just be thankful your favorite race isn't fucking gnomes, man. Or goblins. Or pandas. Like, shit. I feel like these people would have been angry with Empire Strikes Back because the rebels got treated so badly. They're like, clearly, the ticket money of people that like the rebels in Star Wars worth less to George Lucas than the ticket money from people that love the Empire. Clearly, look how badly they treat... Like, I'm a Han Solo fan. I'm very fucking angry right now. They hate Han Solo. Star Wars hates Han Solo. Disgusting how they treat us. I think it's weird. I can't, I can see people being upset if your favorite race didn't get like good story or any story or whatever, and I even like getting lots of story and not liking it. I get that, but treating it like taking it that personally is very, very weird to me. I don't think it's healthy, and I don't think you should do it. It's a story. That's what it is. No one has got a personal vendetta against the Night Elves at Blizzard, right? It's so weird to me. Anyway, whatever. Clearly, the Night Elves get a new home. This does certainly look like it's linked to it somehow, with Elune playing a part. Do you think it's reasonable that people feel like Night Elves are mischaracterized from Warcraft 3? Decent shout. Yeah, I'm fine with that as a criticism. Yeah, that's not the kind of criticism I'm talking about, though. But yeah, I think that's a reasonable shout. Yeah. But I mean, you would say that would be a criticism that is valid from the very start of World of Warcraft. I would say that's a World of Warcraft thing, not like a recent story thing. Where the characterization of Night Elves. You trust ABK on matters of racial equity. They can't manage it between humans. Well, no, famously, I don't trust Blizzard to present their real-life races in the game that they reference well in the game. Famously, I talk about it all the time. No one ever wants to hear it when you talk about, like, actual fucking racism. Like, you talk about actual racism, no one wants to fucking know. You talk about, like, the racial stereotypes that trolls present you with, like, and the real-world racial stereotypes that, like, Tauren and stuff present you with. No one wants to fucking know. No, they're just upset that a fucking tree burned down. That's their racism they want to talk about. They don't want to talk about the actual racism in the fucking game. Let's be very clear about that. So I think that it's a good shout that the Night Elves are mischaracterized from Warcraft 3. I completely agree with that. But that I would say that was something that happened in like classic vanilla WoW, honestly. I don't think that's something that's happened recently by any means. I would go as far as to say that vanilla WoW pretty much retcons the Night Elves, from Warcraft 3 in many ways, in the way they're presented. Maybe you kind of have to do, like, maybe they felt like they had to do that to make them more more workable as player characters, in an MMO thing perspective rather than an RTS perspective. I don't know, but I would say that they it's probably more to do with that. I'm not defending that, by the way. I like Night Elves just fine, but I actually, they are clearly very different from the Warcraft 3 Night Elves, yeah. But that's not a recent thing. You can't really blame the current story team for that. They wanted a more EverQuest elf race. Well, I think they wanted a more, I get that. And there's like there's an argument that the Warcraft 3 Night Elves wouldn't work so well in an MMO setting as they do in Warcraft 3. I don't know. I guess that's probably part of the reasoning behind it. I bet you there's some stuff in the Warcraft diaries about it. if you read that. I bet you there's a section on it in the Warcraft Diaries, or a little throwaway comment about it in the Warcraft Diaries. Maybe I'll go back and reread it. That's why they made the female Night Elves bouncy, cute, giggly, as opposed to big Amazon murder ladies. Yeah, totally. And I'm not saying that was the right decision. I love big Amazon murder ladies. They're the best. You know?